For those of you that don't know Rich, I know him very well. He is the site director for the Montbello Boys and Girls Club, also known as the Denver Broncos Super Bowl Champion 50 Boys and Girls Club. So, hey, Rich, and before you go in your comments, could you just say how long have you been at the club and how many, when I go there, the club's always packed, but how many students come through on a regular basis?
We opened the club almost 13 years ago when the city gave us an excellent lease. When the Montbello Rec Center moved to Chambers, and I've been the only director there. We saw over 200 kids there last night. We see over 1,000 kids a year, and operating at or just above our capacity there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Councilman and President for letting me speak today. A lot of the issues there on the zoning, geographics, all that type of stuff, I really can't speak to a lot of that. But I can tell you about the impacts in the Montbello community. I spoke to 2 grandparents that are raising their great-grandchildren because their family's been destroyed with drugs, alcoholism, and they had one word for me, and that is enough. They said there's 4 places they can walk to buy marijuana if they want. But in Montbello, they have to take a bus or 2 buses to get fresh produce and groceries. So oversaturation is definitely an issue. I spoke to the leadership group of 30 teens last night. I said, so I'm going to go speak to City Council about this issue. How do you feel? How hard is it for you to get marijuana? These are kids 13 to 18 years old. And they said, Rich, we can go outside the door and get it anytime we want. I had a kid in the PACE program. It's an expulsion program for middle school kids, 13 years old. He got suspended in the PACE program because he stole part of his grandma's stash. The Boys and Girls Club, we do have impact. We do a national youth outcome survey. In 2013, 84% of our teens abstained from using marijuana because we ask them about all kinds of risky behaviors. Last year, 2015, it's dropped to 80%. Still a little higher than the national average. I think the national average is 77%, and the Colorado average is 80%. So we feel like we're having some impact there, but we need your help so that way you don't need to make it tougher for these kids to grow up. The impacts that it's on their families. I mean, there's 4 families right now that are just trying to, they're paying rent in hotels because they can't afford rent in the Montbello neighborhood. They're paying $1,300 a month to live in a hotel in Quebec. So just like the great-grandparents told me last night, I think enough is enough. And I totally support the idea of caps and all that's been spoken about today. Thank you.